Okay.
And we're going to talk about Ubisoft.
I just want to yell about something. I don't know. How about Ridley's not in the game yet?
I don't even think Watch Dogs was on that infographic by Nintendo, so that's kind of
Watch Dogs isn't out yet for Wii U.
No,
it's never coming out. Just let it go. Let it go.
But you know what's funny?
It is recording.
I have reached out to. Okay, first off, I have this Ubisoft rep.
Hang on. Let's make this an official startup before we get into
let's
this.
actually start.
No, start it with that. Let Sean continue. It's already recording. Go.
All right, so I got this official Ubisoft rep. Well, I've been hitting up the past probably 2 or 3 months. All the time on Twitter, I'm like, yo, what's up with Watch Dogs? Oh, it's coming. Are you sure? It's coming. And I'm just to the point of where it's like, the game is supposed to be coming out in the fall, all right? You haven't shown a damn thing from it. Like, I don't even see why you would release this. Like, that would be like me trying to sell something on eBay and then just being like, oh, this is what it is. No picture. Good luck. Like, you have the freaking gamepad is like, the game's based around hacking, even though it's a secondary thing and it's more like Grand Theft Auto. And it's based around hacking, which you could do so much with the gamepad. But the thing is that, like, I have asked Ubisoft, I've asked my rep, I'm like, send me a picture, send me one thing, and she will ignore the hell out of that. But she will sit there and still tell me, oh yeah, it's coming out in the fall. That's like that video I made. Someone sent it off to Ubisoft, and Ubisoft replied, and the only thing that they really talked about was how in the beginning I talked about microtransactions. Because the only reason I talked about microtransactions was just to because when I put it out there, I wanted, everyone to kind of look at the video. I didn't want just Nintendo fans. I wanted PlayStation owners, I wanted Xbox owners to look at it and, kind of be able to relate to it. But that was the only thing they focused on in the entire video. In their entire response. And it was like a huge paragraph response. And I'm just like, yo, put out a picture. Put out one picture of the game. Put out one picture of the gamepad and let people know it's real. I mean, Ubisoft's crazy, man. Like,
well, what I can't understand is that they claimed that all their people went over to work on the Wii U version once the other versions came out. So this leads me to one of two conclusions. Number one, this means that they weren't working on the Wii U version like at all before originally launched, because if it's taking this long to like complete porting it over, that's one thing. Second of all, as you said, I don't know why they're bothering to release this. I actually just picked up Watch Dogs for the PS4. I found it on sale for $30. It's going to release on the Wii U for $60. Who's going to buy it on the Wii U for $60 when you can already get it used or new, whatever, on other systems for 2 to 3 times cheaper? Why would you?
Unless they're hiding something and they're just going to, come out with something really
No, do not
revolutionary.
Do not give them that much credit. Do not give them any credit because I mean, seriously, and that's another great point is like you can buy it on any other system for $30 or $40 now. It's on sale everywhere, and you're still gonna try to. And there's a bunch of Nintendo fans. There's a bunch of people on my Twitter that when I made my video, they agreed with me, but they were kind of like, "Yo, maybe we should buy this game to show Ubisoft, that people want games like this." No, screw them, dude. Like seriously, like do not. You can't, it's just like a kid or a dog. You can't reward bad behavior. Don't reward that. If they don't want to make games on the Wii U, cool. That's fine. I'll play them on another system if I really want to play it. But,
yeah, I mean, if you own a Wii U, you should just assume going in that you are not going to see very much third-party support other than from indies. And, Nintendo just released that new infographic, and that's what we're originally going to talk about. And the only, fully priced AAA, whatever, third-party games are Skylanders, Disney Infinity, and Marvel or Lego Batman 3. And I mean, when you're buying a Wii U, you should going in that you're going to get maybe one game every 1 to 2 months from Nintendo, which is going to be excellent. And then you're going to get these small indie games. And I mean, the quality on those really varies. It just depends on what you're talking about. And then if you want to play another game, I would recommend getting another system, and not necessarily a PS4 or an Xbox One. I mean, you could probably pick up an Xbox 360 for $100 now, and considering everything comes out on everything, Watch Dogs came out on both generations. You could probably play on there. I mean, people are complaining, and that's very understandable. But when someone says that it's the third party's fault that they're not bringing that. We're mad. That's not necessarily true. I mean, it's crappy that Ubisoft is treating Wii U owners the way it is, but I mean, it's all a money game. If they were selling millions of units on the Wii U, then they would treat us a lot better. It's all about money. If the PS4 sold 10 units, they would not release any more on the PS4. It just depends on the money, and that's what they're looking at. And I mean, they don't really care about you. That's true, but they don't really care about PS4 owners either. They care about their wallets.
And that's very true. I mean, that's basic business. There's nothing wrong with that. But if they put, the thing is, there's 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to say all third-party games lack effort, but if anyone honestly thinks that they put a quarter of the amount of time that they put in other versions that they put in the Wii U version, they're insane. They're absolutely insane because, I mean, look at Arkham Origins. What did it run worse on, the Wii U? I mean, why? Why would that be? Only because they're not putting in effort. And that's understandable. If you're not going to make the money, you're not going to put in the effort. So my thing is, don't even make it. Like, I'll play it on something else. Don't even make it. Don't waste your time. Don't waste my time. Don't waste consumers' time. Because the people that end up buying it, the 200,000 Wii U owners that buy it, they're not even going to like it. So if you release something else, you're alienating those people because they were like, oh, burn me once, shame on me. Burn me twice, shame on you. So, I mean, it's a cycle is what it is, really. But I don't know. It's just crazy. The whole Watch Dogs thing, and even to an extent, Project Cars. Project Cars is even more ridiculous, like I said in my other video, just because of the fact that the demand on the Wii U was so high. It was so high. And then you're just like, oh, yeah, we're going to release it on everything else. By the time you get it on the Wii U, it'll be, dirt cheap on everything else. But, we'll try to make it worth your while. Nah, dude, just piss off with that. Like, I'll still be playing Mario Kart 8 because, it'll have that new DLC and keeping it fresh. But, man, that kind of stuff just drives me nuts. And I'm a multi-platform owner. Like, I got multiple systems. I got, everything from NES to what's new today. So, I don't know. It's just crazy to me. It's just like if I only owned a Wii U, like I would be so pissed off. And that's I understand those people. Like it's just crazy. Like I was really looking forward to Project Cars on the Wii U. Like no lie, it looked really cool. I love games like Gran Turismo. Yes, I could buy it on PS4. Yes, I could buy it on Xbox One. But I wanted to see like these people. Just like that interview I did with Andy Tudor from Slightly Mad Studios. They were all, hyping it. Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna look really good. We're not gonna compromise any integrity, but you're gonna delay the hell out of it now. It's like, whatever, dude. Get out of here.
Welcome to Nintendo Rants.
Well, what I was gonna say is just to add on. I mean, it's kind of disappointing. However, it's nice to see that. I mean, we still do Disney Infinity Skylanders are not necessarily bad games, and it's nice to see that at least they're coming and at least they're doing okay on the system.
Look at their target market, though, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
like Sonic Boom. It's all kids market, so those games, the third parties were like, oh yeah, kids have Wii U's.
Well, and Sonic Boom is for those Sonic fans that continue to buy bad Sonic games.
No, Sonic Boom is geared for kids. It's the Skylander. it's the Sonic Skylander.
No, I'm joking because I have a friend, I'm thinking one in particular, that continues to buy Sonic games every year and hates them and continues to buy them. So, it's one of those things when people say speak with your wallet, it's kind of true also. But Sean's message is we don't care for your games, don't bring them here, so he's not going to buy Watch Dogs. If your message is we want to see more games, which Ubisoft already said it won't bring, but if another studio decides to bring something over, then you need to support the titles. And the thing is, there's a very loud amount of people on the internet that complain when the Wii U doesn't get a title. And if we're just going to talk about, for example, just with the new Assassin's Creed, for example, everyone flipped out. This was before we knew that Ubisoft wasn't bringing games over. And, everyone flipped out. Why aren't you bringing this over? But I'm going to say Ubisoft made a pretty solid effort, much more than a lot of other third parties. They brought over Assassin's Creed twice. They brought over Splinter Cell. They brought over Rayman. They brought over Child of Light. So obviously they've tried. And the fact that maybe some of the things didn't get DLC, you didn't know that going in. So at the time the packages were released, they were kind of pretty much equivalents to what other systems were getting. And the fact is Ubisoft probably didn't make money off of these ventures. They tried, and now they're not bringing any stuff more. So if people really spoke with their wallets and say, even, I don't know, 5% of Wii U owners went out and bought these third-party games, and they would continue bringing them over. But the fact is that number is much less than even 5%. So,
hang on that topic of all this third-party and speaking with your wallet, there's that Operation Platinum going around right now, right? Which is, let's get Bayonetta 2 to sell 1 million copies to prove a point to everyone that, like, you know, mature titles sell on the Wii U. What do you guys think of Operation Platinum? You guys have an opinion?
I mean, look, like, grassroots movements are cool like that. Like, you know, I know that I've talked to the dude who's running it. I think their message was a little convoluted at first, just because, you know, they weren't really talking about why you should buy Bayonetta 2 as a game, why you should buy it as a statement. But now that I think they've kind of steered away from that, well, they're not focused as much on, you know, why you should buy it as a statement, why you should buy it as a game. I think that's better. Realistically, I think 1 million units is way too high. You know, you're talking about a low 7 million install base. So 1 million units is a lot, and, you know, it's not Mario Kart. So
it's a very niche game, man.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, Nintendo is trying with the Direct and stuff, which will actually help Operation Platinum. I could see it selling decent. What decent is, you know, a couple 100,000 units, maybe, you know, 300,000-400,000 units. I think everyone involved, Nintendo, Platinum Games, would be happy. So it's a cool thing. If you want to get behind that, that's cool. But keep expectations realistic is my whole thing.
Other than Hyrule Warriors, there hasn't been a single game released since Mario Kart, so from Nintendo first party. So, you know, I think that there's demand for a new Wii U title. So on that end, I think that they could possibly sell 1 million units. And in that, I'm like, more power to you. And the fact is, Mario Kart sold, like 3 million units, which is almost 50% of the install base. So the fact is, Wii U owners are willing to buy games. And, you know, 1 million units is like 13% of the install base. So if 13% of us, you know, bought Bayonetta 2, then it would sell that 1 million units. So in that respect, I think it's reasonable. However, Wonderful 101 did not sell well. That's just one example. But even on the original systems, 360 and PS3, with huge install bases, Bayonetta, the original, did not do that well. So that's one thing I'd like to keep in mind for all behind Project Platinum.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to reach 1 million. Like, I look at Bayonetta, the Direct today, or was it today? It was, all I see is Wonderful 101 with a mature coding on it. Like, I like mature titles, but after seeing the Direct, I'm like, it's just chaining combos. Like I understand some people love games like that, but it just seems like it's too focused on just one thing.
I don't think the Wonderful 101 comparison is good. Just because, like, that title screamed niche. Like the second I saw it, like, I'll be honest, I still don't own it. Like, I played the demo and I was like, I don't get this.
The demo sucked. Was a bad demo.
I know, everyone says that, but, like, no, I think Bayonetta has more of a mass appeal, I mean, than something like the Wonderful 101. The Wonderful 101 also came out at a time where the install base wasn't that great, and a lot of people were losing interest in the system. So, you know, when it came out, all because you owned a Wii U, it wasn't really a game that said, "Hey, buy me." I mean, Lego City Undercover was a much more, you know, appealing game to a lot of people than Wonderful 101 was. So I don't know. I don't like that analogy. I think Bayonetta will do good. And the thing about the install base that Eli mentioned, it did like 1 mil on each system, but I mean, a lot of third-party games that are considered successes only do 1 mil on these systems that have, you know, 80, 90 million. So that almost brings me back to the Ubisoft thing and the whole Zombie U thing, where you sold 700,000 copies of a game that was not that great. But I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let sleeping dogs lie. I'm gonna control myself. I'm gonna be a grown up.
I want to comment on what Sean said, the expectations, because I think the problem here is that we're now going to be comparing Bayonetta 2 to a potential million in sales, and there may be the perspective that, if it doesn't hit 1 million units sold, that it's not going to be a success or it's not going to be a good game or something like that. And we have to hit this 1 million or they're not going to know how good third-party games are on Wii U or something like that, which I think is outrageous, but I think it's definitely possible. And the Zombie U example is a great example of that. At that, just because a game, may not hit a certain amount of sales, it can still be successful. And you got to kind of look at the big picture here. And I think, with this campaign, it's a cool idea. And I mean, it's a campaign to buy a video game. Like, I think I'm already going to commit based on the fact that I got to spend like $60. I don't need a social movement to tell me to buy the game or not. But to put it at 1 million kind of implies that if it doesn't hit 1 million, it's not going to be a success, which is not what we want. We want people to get in on the game because they want to play it, not because we have to buy it to make sure they know it's a good game. Like, speak with your wallet, but also speak with your words. That would be a better campaign, is why do you like Bayonetta? Why should you play it? Not, we should totally buy the game because 1 million sales would show blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, I think the campaign kind of approaches the game in a way seems too artificial to me and not really like it doesn't really quantify much. Like what is hitting 1 million sales show that's different than hitting 900,000 sales or 800,000 or something like that. I don't see the value in this arbitrary limit, and I don't think it's gonna get hit. And if it does, okay, sure. But if it doesn't, I don't think that's a big deal either. What if it's 950,000? What are they gonna say? I don't know. It seems like an arbitrary expectation that's kind of misconstruing the whole point of buying the game, which is not to increase sales, but because it's a good game. And there are better ways to show that than supporting like a campaign for 1 million sales for a corporation to make money. Yes, 1 million sales.
Yeah, Nintendo knows what they're doing. Like if Bayonetta completely flops and it sells 100,000 units lifetime, like they'll live. They'll live. But I just want to add something. Something just came across my news stream that the Uplay app on the Wii U just updated with Watch Dogs content, and the only time it does that on the Wii U is for games that are coming out on the Wii U. And like this literally just happened. So that's kind of interesting, but don't buy Watch Dogs.
Ubisoft somehow heard your conversation.
They did. I swear they bugged me and something. Like they're all up in my house like the cops are. But that's a whole other different story. We won't even get into that.
Ubi police.
Thanks, everyone, for listening. Of course, make sure to let us know your opinion on third parties in the comments below. Do you even buy third-party games? Would you like them to come to the Wii U? Do you enjoy indie games more? Just sticking with first-party games? We'd love to hear all of that. And for Jason, Dakota, Sean, and I, we'll see you guys next time for Nintendo Enthusiast Radio. Nintendo